like I'm addressing the public. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is the first time you have ever been here. Welcome. Today I am going to do one of my, no, let's be honest, commitment, Carly, commitment. This is my favorite makeup look to do on myself if I have little amount of time and I need to go out, run an errand, be in public and not look homeless, go to lunch, go to work, and I only have like 15-20 minutes to like throw some makeup on. This is what I go to. It's pretty simple. It might seem a little longer because I have to talk through it as I'm doing it, but if you have a little amount of time, you have your coffee, you're ready to blend, you can do this too, I promise. You don't have to use this exact color scheme. This is what I do. So if you want to see how I achieve this look, just keep watching, or let's just do the damn thing. Let's go. Let's go. I'm ready. Let's blend. Oh, I have makeup on my face. Cute. This is probably one of my just like tried and true makeup routines that I just know I can go to and I will love. I call it the trifecta of happiness, which means I do like a bold brow, which my brows are really dark, so every day is a bold brow for me. Some lashes, whether that be like today, I think I'm gonna use some like fake kiss lashes. I wasn't planning on it, but I saw these in Walmart today. When I was buying spray paint, I just happened to walk past the beauty aisle, of course, and I found these are by Kiss, and these are called the Multi-Angle Technology Blooming Lash in Peony. And what they mean by multi-angle, I'll show you when they're not in the package, of course. They look more like regular lashes, and I would say that like on any normal day, I probably wouldn't wear lashes, but I have come to find out that it takes me so long to get my lashes the way I want them with mascara that this is so much easier to just pop on and go. And it wasn't always that way. It took a lot of practice and a lot of stabbing myself in the eye to get there, but I really do think that I'm starting to become an everyday lash wearer, which I never thought I would be, but it's just so much easier just to put some glue on, let them dry for a little while, and just pop them on and know they're gonna stay there and they're gonna look the way you want. Where I'm gonna take, let's be honest, 3 different types of mascara, a curling one, 15 minutes, and probably some cussing, and they're still not gonna be exactly what I want, but there you go. And for the lip, I'm super excited because this time last year, I was hunting down this color. I see you, Sephora. I see you, Kat Von D. I want your Lolita lipstick, your Everlasting Liquid Lipstick. I used her red one in Outlaw in my last video, if you saw that. If you didn't see it, I will link it down below. But like I said, I'm just gonna do, this is my go-to look. This is a little quicker, a little faster than my last look. You know, I'm also not trying to make it look like my mouth is sewn shut. So this is more wearable in public. People won't stare as much, hopefully. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, I already put some First Aid Beauty, what is this called? Ultra Repair Lip Therapy. Repairs dry lips, petroleum free. I really like this stuff. I like First Aid Beauty in general. I have really sensitive skin, I have really dry skin. This stuff is like paraben free, fragrance free, all that kind of good stuff, allergy tested. So I just really like it. I use a lot of their products for moisturizing, face wash, body wash, redness, tightening, lifting, firming, blah, 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 blah. I use it all. I try everything from them because I really do like this company, and their products are very soothing. So if you have dry or sensitive skin, I would recommend you check them out. Moving on. So what I'm going to start by doing is I'm not going to prime my face, just because I have come to find out that when I use this Smashbox Studio Skin 15 Wear Hydrating Foundation, I believe it stays better on my skin without a primer, which I'm not really a huge primer fan anyway, so less work for me. I'm all about it. I just put some on the back of my clean hand. Don't forget to wash your hands before you start touching your face. And I am going to use a Real Technique setting brush, and I just honestly just put it on the back of my hand like so, and then I kind of like move it around my face. I do this, I'm still going to use the Beauty Blender. I still love the Beauty Blender, but I think if I put on a small layer all around my face and then go in with the Beauty Blender and blend it out, I like it better, especially because when you dip a beauty blender into the foundation, a beauty blender is very porous. Mine's ripped. It's porous, which means like when you push the product into it, it's going to absorb that product, which is kind of what it's meant to do. It's supposed to pick up the excess makeup on your skin so you don't get cake face, which I enjoy and I love. But if I want a full face of makeup, I don't want to push all that product into it right away. I want to kind of spread it around and have it pick up the excess that my skin doesn't absorb after I put it on with a brush, if that makes sense. So I just don't want to waste the foundation. One, I don't want it to be pushed into my beauty blender to the point of no return, because it's really hard to wash a beauty blender if there's makeup like in the very center of it. If you've ever seen a video of like what's inside a beauty blender when they like cut it open, it's really quite disgusting. So on that happy note, we're gonna blend. So first layer of foundation done. I didn't put very much on just because I wanted to get a nice base coverage. I don't want to like a full cake face. I'm not trying to like go to the club or anything, you know. I want to slowly build up my foundation. That's what I recommend at any time, especially if you're not used to a foundation. So I'm going to just go in with a second layer though. Still trying to live my best life. Make sure your beauty blender is wet. Make sure it's wet. Make sure you squeeze it under the sink a few times. Running water, you're squeezing, it's soaking wet. You squeeze it out once. You have a paper towel or a towel, you wrap it, give it a good squeeze, you're ready to go. That's what I did off camera. That is how a beauty blender works the best with any sponge, unless it says not to get it wet. But almost every beauty sponge out there on the market should be dampened. And you just keep blending, keep adding foundation little by little until you get the desired coverage that you want. Like I said, not going for cake face today, but in all honesty, my natural everyday go-to makeup is probably not the same as yours or yours or yours. So that's okay. If you only like one light coverage of like a BB cream, a CC cream, if you don't know the difference, don't worry, or like a light powder, it's totally fine. In all honesty, Smashbox, this foundation it doesn't really feel like I have that much on my skin. Where some foundations that I wear, it feels like I have a literal mask sitting on my face, where I don't feel that way with this one. So moving on, I am going to use the Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer. I use the lightest one, very fair, and I'm going to put it under my eyes to brighten. And this concealer is very hydrating. At first when I got it, I didn't like it because I felt like it just slid around my under eyes. I didn't like it very much, but then I tried it with a different setting powder. I tried it with the Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. At the time I was just using, whoa, put a lot on my face. I was just using the Cover FX setting powder, which was too thick for it. I look psychotic right now. That's fine. But I have used a different setting powder. It's all good in the hood now. I feel like that happens with me a lot of the time. I start out with a product. I don't like it the first couple times I use it because I haven't found the way that I like it. You know, I use like the recommended way to use it, or try it with these, or you have to try things, especially with like liquids. I feel like you need to try it with a beauty blender, a brush, or maybe a brush, then a beauty blender like I'm doing, or a couple different kinds of setting powder, or just try it out before you totally give up on a product, because you never know. You use it one different way, you put it on a different way, a different day, and you have found your new holy grail. Don't give up, is what I'm trying to say. Just like, don't give up. I'm still weird. Okay, So now I'm going to set that real quick. I don't want to waste much time in between putting on the concealer and setting the concealer. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Secret, I don't even know what it's called now. Secret Brightening Powder for under the eyes. I don't use it just under my eyes. I use it wherever I want because I'm a rebel without a cause. Just kidding. I really follow the rules most of the time. I'm just gonna put it under my eyes. And no matter what powder I use, I have some wrinkles right under my bottom lashes, and it always gathers some powder in there after like a couple minutes. Then I just brush it off and I don't have a problem with it the rest of the day, usually. But this would probably have to be my favorite powder at the moment. Oh, definitely for under the eyes. It's definitely my favorite setting powder. Her Laura Mercier, just the regular powder for the setting powder for the face, I didn't love. It was a little too drying for me, which I know I'm probably one of the only people on this earth that had that problem, but if you have extremely dry skin like the Sahara Desert, like myself, maybe you should try something else. I like to use the Cover FX. It's like, oh, Illuminating setting powder. The Illuminating setting powder for all over the face. Oh, by the way, I used a Tapered Sigma E53 brush for under my eyes. And then I'm gonna go in with a, Real Techniques brush. It's just a powder brush with the Cover FX and do the rest of my face. Because like I said in my last video, powder everywhere before I put this powder everywhere before I put on contour or blush, because you need that barrier in between the wet and the colored and dry. So it's like putting white paint all over your face and then trying to blend flawlessly red or brown paint as your contour and highlight. Contour and blush. Just doesn't work very well. I got on my hand. Promise that was not cocaine. Promise. In all realness, though, I'm going to do my brows now. If I feel comfortable with this. Okay, so what I'm going to be using today is probably a mixture between the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. I really like it because it has a retractable tip. Zoop, 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 zoop. And I like this because I have some parts of my brow that are very sparse. Let's take a moment of silence for whoever gave me tweezers in middle school. Because, damn, Gina. They're just like, they're going through a rough time right now. They have been for the past 2 years. I just don't want to talk about it anymore. And then I'm going to use my favorito, Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in medium brown. I really like her brow products. She also has a brow pencil that I used for a long time being like 2 years, I guess. And I'm going to use her Anastasia Beverly Hills, that's not it. Oh, here it is. Her brow pencil brush, I guess. It's got a spoolie on one end and a defined angle brush on one end. I've had this for a really long time. The only thing is I've glued this sucker back in a couple times, which is okay. I use them every single day, so whatever. I'm not really mad about it. So what I'm gonna do is brush out the brows real quick. Get some pomade. I just dip it in there a little bit. And what I always do, I'm just going to do it on the back of my hand to show you, but I always take both the flat edges and I push them like against my hand like that, just so I get just on the tip. I don't want it on the sides everywhere, because if you get the wrong angle, your brow can go from like beautiful to bushy real fast and it doesn't look natural. I'm just letting you know. So what I'm going to do, excuse me, is I'm going to start about a quarter of the way in, draw a pretty defined line under it. And like I said, I'm going for a pretty bold brow today. So don't be nervous and practice this. Practice filling in your brows if you've never done it before. You don't actually need a pomade. You can use I used to practice with just like some brown powder that kind of matched my eyes before I went to bed every night. And I just practiced filling them in until I felt comfortable enough to wear them out in public. Then I'm gonna take just a tiny bit more. My brush got to the point where it was pretty much, there was no product on it. I'm just gonna take a little bit more, put it on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to the front part of my brow. There's just a little bit at the front that's a little sparse for my liking. So I'm just gonna go quick, short spurts and kind of make the appearance that there is hair there, that I'm not like balding in my eyebrow, you know? So, and bring it up on the top, then just spoolie it out. So I'm just gonna keep on going back, getting it as bold as I want, as intense as I want, spooling it out. And there's a little secret: if you get it too harsh in front, you can always just take a clean brush. Make sure there's no like red or blue powder on it, because that would be really bad. A clean brush with just a little, any sort of like translucent white powder. Take it the tiniest bit, tap it off, and then just like push it through the brow. And it will make it look a little softer, a little more natural. And you can do that as much as you want. So, and if you totally screw it up, you can just wipe it off and try it again. It's just makeup. Okay, I'm just gonna do my other brow and then we'll move on. So now I'm done with the pomade, and then this is kind of the time where I go back with the Benefit Precisely My Brow. And if I didn't get as the hair-like look as I wanted, I will go back and do it with this. You can honestly do your full brow with this pencil. But since my brows are so dark, I like using a pomade just because I feel like it gets every single square inch of bareness. So, go in, do that. Spoolie them through one more time just for evenness. And then I will set them with some clear brow gel by Anastasia as well. Boom, locked and loaded. So moving on, next I think I'm going to contour. Ouch. I'm going to be using the, I'm going to take this out a little bit. Ooh, I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I am going to take my Tapered, I saw this at Walmart. It is an e.l.f. brush. Oh, it says it right here. Duh. e.l.f. Professional Bronzing Brush. I really like this to draw on my contour. Draw it on like it's a magic marker or something. Just take a little bit, tap it off. I took the shade. And what I mean by like drawing it on is I'm going to start over here. You can find your cheekbone. Some people do that. You can kind of just see it. It's a natural shadow, and we want to enhance that shadow. And because we're not going to be using like a lot of eyeshadow, or our eyes aren't going to be really dramatic or anything, this is what takes me from potato to human being. Not gonna lie at all. And you want to make sure you blend it really well, because if you don't, it can get muddy really quickly. And muddy as in like dirty. It will literally just look like someone just like rubbed dirt on your face, and it's not really a look that's in 2016, so we're gonna try to avoid that. See, and I'm just following it kind of down as far as you want. I kind of aim towards the corners of my mouth. Okay, so once I'm done with this, I will take my larger Pro Flawless powder brush from Sephora, number 40. And I will go in with, again, that same cooler tone and some brown, some warmer brown. And I will go back where I was, and I will buff a little bit more of it in, just to kind of like diffuse it all over the face. and blend it to your desired tone. So as you can see, my cheeks now look very more public education is showing, look more structured, and it kind of like gives an illusion to the eye that I'm like, I don't know, 10 pounds thinner, which I'm not upset about. But as you can tell, it looks very uneven if I just do my cheeks. So you have to make sure you go in. I just mix the two colors, tap it off, and do your forehead. And what I try to do is I try to avoid the temple, because if the temple is left blank, it kind of brings like a lifted look. Or if you just shoot between here, I do from like the end of my brow to the beginning of my brow to the end of my brow, and then like lightly dust in between to connect the two. And then I leave my temples blank, because I would like that lifted look, you know? Might as well. I don't want to mess with the structure of my face too much. I just want to enhance what I already have. I'm just trying to be me, you know? Hashtag no filter. Hashtag no makeup. Okay, so I did these two spots. Sometimes I do it a little more. Since we're not having a lot go on the face today, I'm gonna make my contour just a little darker, a little deeper. Now I don't have anything on my brush now. I'm just gonna run it down my chin, my neck. Make sure it's all blended. Okay, I lied. I'm gonna put a little bit on. But I'm giving my face more structure. Boom. Alright, moving on. I am going to use MAC Melba today. This is one of my favorite blushes ever. It's just kind of, I don't know how well it's picking up the tone. It's like a lighter mauve-y pink. It's actually super pigmented though, super pigmented, which I like it that I don't need a ton. I'm really just trying to blend this back into my contour just to make it look nice and natural, you know, just super natural. This may seem like a lot of steps, but because I have to talk about it while I'm doing it, it seems like it takes a lot longer. Like if I am in the mood, like if I've had my coffee and I need to get to work, I will like boop, 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 boop. This will be on, I will slap it on, I'm out the door in like 15, 20 minutes. Some people do cocaine. I just really like makeup. I think I may have made the better choice, I'm just saying. Alright, so next I'm going to take my favorite highlighter of all time, my Jaclyn Hill, well actually it's like Becca Cosmetics collab with Jaclyn Hill. As you can see, I've hit pan so hard, but I've had this for probably a year, maybe? No, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Anyways, this is one of my favorites. I use a fan brush, hit the tops of my cheeks. This is such a pretty color, especially if you have lighter skin, like a lighter skin tone. And which I feel like with the winter coming up, a lot of people are gonna be have a lighter skin tone. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Gotta get that nose highlight going on. And you could also use it for under the eye, but I'm going to use a different, I'm gonna just be extra and use a different highlighter. So now that I have all of my like powdery face products on, I am going to take a Real Techniques stippling brush, and this is a game changer. Like if you're putting any sort of like powder, blush, contour, anything, you should stipple it out. What I mean by that is like doing this, it will not take any of the product off, but it will just smooth it all out, so it just like emulsifies it all together. It just becomes one. It looks a lot more natural. There's no harsh lines. It just looks so much better once you stipple. And like I can tell if I forget to do this step, because it's kind of like an afterthought sometimes. But I like look at myself like, girl, you did not blend very well today. And I'm like, I didn't stipple, that's why. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is the eyes. The gateway to the soul, or something cheesy like that. I'm going to use the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in Original. I had totally forgotten about this. I used to use this. I got a sample from Sephora a while ago. I loved it. And then I bought, they have like a couple different sizes in these, which I personally prefer. If I'm going to buy a product, I want the option to buy a smaller size. These are great. So that's why I really like Urban Decay Primer Potion. You can buy it in a smaller thing. I like the applicator. You can't really see it very well. It's fuzzy. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna put some on our eyelid. I really like this because it kind of conceals a little bit, not a ton, it conceals a little bit, but this stuff is like my favorite primer. And you're thinking like, if you're not gonna be doing a lot of shadow, you don't really need primer. Wrong, 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 wrong. I need primer. If I'm gonna put on anything on my eyes and I'm gonna want it to stay or not crease, I have to have a primer. So what I'm gonna be doing today for my eyes is I'm going to be dipping into the Modern Renaissance palette. I'm only gonna be using 2 shadows today. I'm gonna start with Tempera, I'm sure is what it is. It's this light shade that I've obviously used a lot of. And I am going to put this on the lid. Okay, and then I'm gonna use Vermeer, this like shiny, cool toned, pinkish, champagne-ish color. And I'm gonna use that as my brow bone highlight. And I'm just gonna start at the arch, move down, move up, bring it down a little bit, blend it into that white. If I only got 20 minutes to do my makeup, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, you bet your bottom dollar that eyeshadow is the last thing I'm gonna be messing with, because nobody got time for that. So little by little, I just add a little more. Depends on what you feel comfortable with. All right, the next thing is lashes. So I'm gonna open these lashes up. There we go. Ooh, these are really pretty. They're very fluffy, very soft. Wow, these are like pretty. They feel like really high-end lashes. You go, Kiss. I haven't even put them on my face yet, but I'm just like raving about them. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take them off with some tweezers, just because you want to be really careful. They're pretty like stuck to the insert, and you want to make sure. See, there's some like, I don't know if you can actually see it. There's some like glue stuck on there, some like extra adhesive. Just like grab it carefully with your tweezers and take that off, because nobody wants it in your eyeball. It comes off pretty easily. I'm just being dramatic at this point. So what I'm going to do, since these are new lashes, I'm going to put them on my eyeball. And I have kind of a strange eye shape. I have more, not strange, it's unique. That's what I'm going to call it. It's unique, special. I have more of an almond shape, so these are going to be a little long for me. So what I'm going to do is just cut the very edge. Just like, I don't know if you can get close enough to see that, but there's little bundles almost. And I'm just going to cut off one of them. One of them, I'm not sure if that's going to be enough, but I'm going to start with one because it's going to look weird if I cut it off. And it's going to be too short. That would just be bad. So I think that's going to do the job. You just got to try a couple times, see what you like. Beautiful. So I'm going to do the other one. Make sure you don't lose this one. I feel like I like sneeze or cough or something and it like flies over there and I'm like, I don't know where the hell my lashes went. So I'm going to take the other one and do the same exact thing. If you want me to do a video just on putting on lashes all by itself, I would be happy to do that. Just let me know. Tweet me. Put it in the comments. Smoke signal. Send me a letter. I accept all forms of communication. So now I'm going to put glue on these bad boys. I'm going to pop them on. Okay, so what I do is put on some Lash Blast Volume CoverGirl Volume Mascara. And what I do is I focus this pretty much on the closest part, the most, I don't know how to say this, closest to the lash line. That's what I want to say. The lash part that is closest to the lash line all the way around my lashes. And the reason I do this is because my hair is so straight and I feel like it's even in my eyelashes, and my hair won't curl unless I put hairspray in my hair first before I curl it. So that is kind of how this acts for me. I know a lot of people say it's not good for your lashes. I don't know. I have never had a problem. My lashes don't fall out because of it or anything. Like, I have never had a problem. And if I do this first and then curl them, they stay much more curled throughout the day. So, show me in the rule book where it's wrong. There's no rule book. Got you. So I'm gonna let that dry a little bit. And right now my lashes are drying with lash glue right below me. So I'm just gonna go in, make sure I get all my lashes in there, and then just pounce for a good 10, 20 times maybe. Pull them out. Look how much more curled they are. If I were to do this without mascara, it'd be like, what was the point of that? It would be like bloop. Denied, try again. See, they're much more curled when I do it this way. So you could honestly, like, a lot of the time when I like go to work and stuff, I don't put false lashes on. I'll just do this. I will go in with another type of mascara. I wasn't lying when I said 3. This is the Tartiste mascara. I'll put this on, let it dry. Sometimes I'll curl them again, which I know is like supposed to be super bad, but it's not bad for mine, so you do you, boo. And then I will finish by putting another mascara. This is the L'Oreal Paris Voluminous Carbon Black Waterproof Mascara. And I always like to end with a waterproof mascara just because you never know when it's gonna be a hard day. So I put that on, put it also on the bottom lashes, which I will do with this after I have my other lashes on, my false lashes on. And then I'm usually good to go. And you could honestly do that. That's a bold lash for me too, but I just thought, you know, why not? I'm just gonna pop on some falsies today because live your best life. So I'm just gonna pop these on and then we'll move on. Pray for me. I don't know what's going on. The insides are kind of flipping up a little bit. I don't know why. I think it's just because they're fresh lashes. They haven't been like broken in yet. But what I'm gonna do is use a little bit of waterproof mascara and kind of just run them in to blend the falsies and the naturals. I didn't know these were gonna be so va-va-voom. Like, dang, drugstore. I see you, kiss. So now I'm just gonna do my bottom lashes really quick. I think I'm in frame. I do like these. These probably aren't like, I don't know, they're grown on me now that if I probably reapplied them and worked with them a little bit, maybe I need to shorten them just a tad. They are very, if you've never worn false lashes before, maybe I wouldn't start with these. Maybe do like Ardell Wispies or like Demi Wispies first. But these are nice. I really like these. See, this I would rather just pop on and go than have to sit here and do 15 minutes of mascara, which I do sometimes too. So those are the lashes. Boom, 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 boom. I really like these. They're pretty voluminous though. Like, they're like, hey-o, I have arrived. So prepare yourself. If that's what you're looking for. I think they were like $3.48. And you can wear them 20 times. If you like clean them and take care of them, you can wear them like 20 times. So now moving on for the third part of the trifecta. So we have the bold brow, the bold lash, and now we're doing the bold lip. And this is seriously one of my favorite colors. I had a hard time applying it the first couple times I used it because I went in without a lip liner. And let me tell you, the secret for me to doing this correctly and just having it look the best is using a lip liner first. Preferably in a color that matches pretty well. So I have NYX Los Angeles Suede Matte Lip Liner Crayon Pencil. And I seriously love this so much. I'm gonna swatch, I don't really have a clean part of my hand, swatch that's not a very big swatch, So that's the color of the lip liner. And then this one is made by Kat Von D, different brand. And this is called Lolita. This was like the most famous color for her. So they're not really, really close. This one's a little darker. This one dries darker. So once it dries, it'll be a lot closer to the match. But for me, they work perfectly together. So I really love this together. So I'm just gonna run a little bit of powder over my lips. Okay, Carly Ratchet Beauty School lesson overlining lips. So I'm just gonna draw a picture of some lips, right? So there's some lips. What I do, my Cupid's bow is kind of like weird. I don't know if the weirdness shows up. So what I do with the lip liner is I go half on the lip, half off the lip is what I try to do. So I overline it just a little, but if I do that, it gives me just enough guidance to keep the remaining shape. So it looks like my lips in the end, but just a little fuller. And that's what I like to start out as. And if I want a little more after that, I can keep going. You could not, so I do that all the way around. So this is the tip of the pencil, let's say, right there. And it's gonna go half on the lip, half off the lip. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I'm gonna do that all the way around the lip. That's how I do it. That's how I start out. And like I said, if I want a little more, a little less, then I go from there. But I don't want to start off too crazy because getting lip liner off of white foundation or lighter foundation is a little more difficult. Can be done, but it's difficult. And another key is to have a very sharp pencil. That helps as well. So here I go. Alrighty then. So it's pretty good shape. If you don't want to use liquid lip, I didn't even talk about this. If you don't want to use a liquid lip, that's totally fine. I like a liquid lip more than just lip liner or lipstick. I feel this stays a lot longer. It's supposed to be like everlasting. I mean, it's not gonna like go to the other side with me when I die or anything. I mean, hopefully in heaven they have Kat Von D liquid lipsticks, you know? But I feel like I can pretty much drink my coffee on the way to work, get there, it'll still be there. It's not all over my face. It just stays put a little more. If anything, it will rub off, but it won't move around. So I'm okay if it comes off, I can put more on, but if it moves around, I have to fix that and put more on. Nope, too much work. That's too much commitment. I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna use Lolita, and this is a pretty good match. But if you do want to just use the NYX, these are super inexpensive. I think they're like $2, $3, $4 somewhere in there. They're not that expensive. They're super good quality. I like them a little more than like my high-end ones, but they have a great color selection. The feel is really nice. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna outline. I'm gonna take some of the product off the applicator. Once again, this is what the applicator looks like. Just gonna take it off just because I'm gonna line them, get the definition how I want, and then I'm gonna fill them in. And if you do mess up, you do have some time to wipe it off before it dries. It's not like tattoo. No regrets. And I like this because it's cool toned and it makes my teeth look whiter. I do whiten my teeth because I have a fake tooth. So it's a certain color of white, so I have to keep the rest of them as white as it, if that makes sense. But tip, if you use a more cool tone or blue toned lip color, it will bring the blue tone out of your teeth, which makes your teeth look whiter. Where if you use like a warm tone, orange, yellow, orangish red, it will make your teeth look a little more yellow. So choose carefully. If you apply uneven layers though, it kind of does get a little streaky, so you just have to be careful. But nothing we can't work with. And my thing is, I don't really like to take these out and touch up with. I usually just grab the lip liner, and if it's close enough match, I just fill it in as I go. If you're not comfortable with getting to the rims of your lips with the liquid lip, just take your lip liner and go over it, if that's easier for you. Get it a little more well-defined. Good to go. So I think I have completed my trifecta of happiness. I got the bold brow, the bold lashes, and the bold lip. But like I said, this is my everyday go-to. I really like it. I feel like it's easier to achieve. Once again, like I said, if you don't have to talk through all of the steps while you're doing them, it goes a lot faster, I promise. And you don't have to use these exact shadows or shades. You can adjust it to your liking or what you have. Like, you don't have to go out and buy these specific products to get this look. And like I said, if you don't achieve something the first time, like applying a liquid lip or lashes or brows, practice before you go to bed. Try and fill in your brows before you go to bed, or your lips. Practice something that you don't feel comfortable with. Maybe it's winged liner, maybe it's like a dark shadow. Practice, you like it, do it every night, wash it off, go to bed, try again the next night. Like, that's what I do. I sit down before I go to bed, I play with makeup, try new looks, try different things. If I mess up, it's not a big deal. If I do it correctly and I really like it, I take a selfie and I go to sleep happy, you know? It's just, you do you. If you haven't seen my first video, or my last video I should say, it was a Halloween glam and gore makeup tutorial where I look like I sewed my mouth shut. I had so much fun filming that, and if you subscribed, or if you watched it, or commented, or shared it, or tweeted it, or sent me a message, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of your support. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Still weird, you know, still weird.